So this is a reaction video, and before we even get into this video, it's a review based, by the way. Just like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, because you never know, the video you suggest might just be next. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that, and Twitter. Boom. Alright, so this is basically a review on DMX's album. It's called Exodus. I should have pulled up the thing here, so I'm just gonna give me a second. Alright, before I even get to it, let's get into the artwork here. So the artwork is basically of DMX. It's just like showing his mouth, and you know what I mean, it's in black and white or grey kind of thing. And then basically, long story short, he's got like a choker type of, not choker chain, but like a chain. And then it's got Exodus 1 to 7. So let's just see what that actually means. Excuse me. Because basically, knowing DMX, he's known for his prayers. He's known for believing in God and stuff like that. Alright, so I even look at that. I type in Exodus 1 verse 7. Guess what comes up first? DMX. Only God could do that, right? Whether you believe in God or not, that's on you. Get me? Whether you're a Christian or not, that's on you. Whether you're just spiritual, like me, I'm just spiritual in it. You know what I mean? Like I've always been spiritually inclined in it. So anyway, and I just see sometimes we won't get to that. But Exodus 1 to 7, right? And the children of Israel, I try to say it like DMX, allow me, right? And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceedingly mightily and the land. Yeah, I shouldn't do that. It's, you know what it is? It's like DMX is one of those guys where you feel you have to imitate. He's just one of those guys. Let me bring up. Alright, so basically there's so many different versions. There's translation and stuff like that. But basically, yeah, the children of Israel were fruitful and exceeding and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. Which is interesting, yeah? Let me tell you why that's interesting, right? Because based on the title and based on DMX himself, I don't know if you know, maybe you do know now, but he has an abundance of children in it. So it's a thing of he has multiplied. Do you see what I mean? So I'm taking it as a thing where, and apparently he's got 4 anyway. Well, no, we won't get into how many children he has, but he's got a lot. And yeah, so basically he, like with artists, I know most artists are very creative in their thought process in album titles and this, that, and the third, and you know what I mean. They have meaning, and as someone that used to do music, trust me, titles have meaning. All right, so I just think it's a representation of his life, yeah, and also a representation how life should be. Do you see what I mean? But let's get into the full album. So there's like 13 tracks on here, right? So there's That's My Dog featuring The Locks and Swiss Beats. Then Bath Salts featuring Jay-Z and Nas. Jay-Z and Nas on another track here. Alright, these two need to just hurry up and do a collab album. Yeah? And then have, I don't know, who should be the producers on the album? I think probably Large Professor, DJ Premier, Swiss Beats, Kanye West, and Dr. Dre. Those and yeah. No, Pete Rock as well. Pete Rock needs to has at least 1 or 2 tracks on that album, if it's to happen. Yeah, because you want that New York feel as well, innit? But I swear Pete Rock's from anyway. I can't say ain't Pete Rock from New Jersey. Um. Anyway, don't matter where who's from, but let's get back into it. So there's Dogs Out featuring Lil Wayne and Swiss Beats. Then there's Money. Bit of a mouthful here. Money featuring Moneybag Yo, which is interesting because DMX has a tune with Jay-Z called More. What's it? More Money. I know the hook in it. You know what I mean? More money, more money, more. Get me? I'm not gonna say it like that because you know what I mean. There's something I'm doing in my personal life that I've clocked that in it. So you know what I mean. I'm not when I get that, get me? Then I get. You know what? Let me not say anything. But I'm just following my instincts in it. You know what I mean? This ain't me trying to whatever. And then plus, someone said to cut down the profanity in it. So you know. So there's Hold Me Down featuring Alicia Keys. Then there's Skyscrapers featuring Bono. I definitely remember him talking about Bono being on his album as well and Drink Champs. I remember him saying that. And I was surprised, but so was Nori. Like, and so was DJ EFN. I was like, they were like, what, Bono? It's funny you mentioned that. And Skyscrapers, and I've got that tune with U2 in my head. Elevation, yo. You know about Tomb Raider? The original Tomb Raider, not this new stuff. Get me? Skyscrapers, Innovation. What can I say? Wow. Alright. Then there's the Stick Up skit featuring Cross Infrared and let me see the name here properly. And Ice Pick. Then there's Hood Blues featuring West Side Guns, Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, and just basically Griselda in it. Yeah, just basically Griselda. I might as well just say that. Because that's like saying with the other tune, the first tune, featuring Jadakiss, Styles P, and Sheik Luch. It's the locks. You know what I mean? Like you might as well just call them the locks or D Block. Hear me? Alright, so then there is the song Take Control featuring Snoop Dogg. Then there's Walking in the Rain featuring Nas, and Nas is on there again, featuring also Exodus, Simmons, and Denon. So Exodus Simmons is probably one of his sons, or yeah, one of his kids or whatever. Then there's the Exodus skit, and then there's Letter to My Son featuring Husher and Brian King Joseph. And then, as usual, for the typical DMX album, there is The Prayer. Alright, so listen. It's hard to even rate the album because obviously of his unfortunate passing. So it's kind of hard right now because to me it's like it's still kind of fresh to me. So maybe after a year or whatever, it's gonna be a lot more easier for me to rate albums again like that from DMX, or his videos. But for now, yeah, like I'm disappointed in terms of excuse me. I'm disappointed because in terms of there's one feature missing from this album, Pop Smoke. I was looking forward to the feature with Pop Smoke, genuinely looking forward to it. Like I don't think you understand. I was genuinely looking from the moment he said that. I saw like put it this way. I first saw the clip on Noriega's or Nori's Instagram, like a preview of the of Drink Champs, in it. This was when DMX was alive, in it. And I was like, yo, Pop Smoke on the album. this is gonna be cold. Like I just know it's gonna be cold because they're both from New York. Pop Smoke is from a new era, in it. Do you see what I'm saying? Even though he passed away as well, unfortunately passed away. It's a thing where it's like, raw, this is gonna be dope. Like I can feel it. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not even from New York, or I was never really raised in New York. I've been to New York, but I've like you gotta understand. It's like for example, like gigs, yeah, featuring anyone coming up from Peckham. Like that's the equivalent of it. You know what I mean? In fact, Giggs has done a few tracks with the new generation in Peckham as well. So you know what I mean? So that's a good look. Like you can tell the energy and all that stuff there. Like it's just gonna be like there's a different level of vibe to it. But yeah, so um yeah, I'm shocked that it's not there. I don't know why. Maybe being a deluxe version, but who knows? Other than that, yeah, I do like the features itself. One that definitely took me by surprise was the one with Bono, even though I knew he was going to be on there, but I completely forgot. Um, After a while, like if you listen to Jay Z's verse, right, you would think, bruv, like allow it, man. But then he's the type of MC that you have to pay very careful attention because he will say something that you would realize after, like, oh, that's what he meant. Because it's like, because you can't take whatever he says verbatim. Like, you cannot take it for face value. Like, he's an MC that MCs in riddles. That's the best way. Like, he's a lyricist. Do you know what I mean? He's a next level lyricist. Um, but yeah, I like the combination of him, Nas, and DMX. I would have liked to have seen DMX, um, Ja Rule, and Jay Z on the album together like that. Just one last time, man. One last time. You know what I mean? Like one last time. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I like the fact that Exodus Simmons was there. I think he's mentioned this in you say daddy or whatever. I forgot what he was saying. And then he said DMX. The way he said it, it just like raw. Nice. I like that. You know what I mean? When you're your child recognize you as your artist name, you know what I mean, but also recognize you as you know you being their parent. Like that's a good look, you know what I mean. But obviously towards the the first half from this album, this is what I'm gonna say from this album, right? For the first half, it's more that gritty street, you know what I mean, like yeah, you know what I mean, and then the second half is more that thoughtful type of thing that makes you pay attention and listen, especially um with songs like Skyscrapers, especially with songs like Walking in the Rain and Letter to My Son, like this, and Hood Blues. Like they go into details of certain things and certain situations, and it just makes me think like raw life. Yeah, you don't know what someone goes through to go through something else, to do something else, you know what I mean? Like I just think it's incredible. I think it's incredible the way he's done this. And obviously, he ended with a prayer in it. In typical DMX style, he ended in prayer. I'm surprised that he hasn't opened a church or anything like that. But so now it kind of makes sense to why him and, apart from having hip hop culture in common, um, now I get why Kanye West and DMX, you know what I mean, were tight like that. Even though I don't think they've had one. Wait, is there a song with Kanye West and DMX? Or I don't think there is, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, so I don't know how long they've known each other, but I'm pretty sure if anyway. But yeah, like I said, I can't really rate this album because of circumstances. However, I would definitely say to go listen to this album. I would say that, you know, it is a great album. I do like the production. Like, typical, like, it's like, you know, with certain artists, yeah, you know the vibe they're gonna give you. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what they're gonna give you. This is what DMX did. They delivered that, but I still want that Pop Smoke feature. That's what I like. I still want that feature. So whether it comes out or not, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It'd be great if it did. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So on that note, the link to the original link to the album is in the description box below. Follow the Thealkebulantrust on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff there. Like this video, subscribe, hit the bell notification because you never know the video you suggest might just be next.